This lesson is on 9.3, which is the Pythagorean Theorem. So first there's some vocabulary we should go over when looking at a right triangle. So you should be familiar, but whenever there's a right triangle, they put a little square in the corner to show you that these are at 90 degrees to each other. Well, in a right triangle, the two sides that form this 90-degree angle are called the legs. And the side opposite the 90-degree angle is called the hypotenuse. So Pythagorean theorem states that for any right triangle, the sum of the squares of the lengths of the legs equals the square of the length of the hypotenuse. So if we have A and B as our legs, and C, we always indicate C as our hypotenuse. That means A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So let's use this in an example problem. So if we were given the problem, we need to find the length of the hypotenuse. So building's access ramp has a horizontal distance. So horizontal is always this x direction of 24 feet and a vertical distance of 2 feet. I find it helpful to draw a triangle, so that's what I did here. So they've given us this distance horizontally and the vertical, and we want to find the length of this ramp. So it's not this distance, it's the length of this straight hypotenuse. So first, we know a squared plus b squared equals c squared because of Pythagorean theorem. So let's plug in what we know. So 2 squared plus 24 squared equals c squared. So that 2 squared plus 24 squared equals 580. So we have 580 equals c squared. But we're not done yet because we don't want c squared, we want just c. So we need to take the positive square root of each side. So what they mean by this positive square root, in order to get 580, we can do it two ways. So if you plug into your calculator, what's the square root of 580? You get 24.083. So if you did 24.083 times 24.083, you'll get 580. But you could also do negative 24.083 times negative 24.83 and get positive 580. That's what they mean by the positive. In this case, it has to be positive because you can't have a negative distance. So then we can simplify. We're going to round it to 24.1. So the answer is the length of this ramp is about 24.1 feet. So what I want you to do is, can you find the length of a hypotenuse when a triangle has a side of 6 and a side of 8? So press pause and give it a try. Now what if instead of giving you and asking you to find the hypotenuse, I gave it to you and asked you to find A? We still can use Pythagorean theorem, and we can still substitute for B and for C. So a squared plus 10 squared equals 20 squared. Well, 20 squared equals 200, which that's not true, equals 400. Sorry, I made a typo. I think this was supposed to be 12. I'm going to press pause and fix this for a second. All right, I'm sorry, I copied the problem wrong. C equals 15. So a squared plus 10 squared equals 15 squared. So a squared plus 100 equals 225. We subtract 100 from each side to get a squared alone, leaving us with a squared equals 125. We're still not done because we don't want a squared, we want a. So a equals the square root of 125, which is equal to approximately 11.2. So now we can say the length of the side is 11.2. So I'd like you to do is try another problem on your own. So find the unknown length, here A, and write your answer in simplest form, meaning to round your answer. Press pause and give it a try. And lastly, if a triangle is a right triangle, then a squared plus b squared equals c squared. If we reverse the two parts of that statement, the new statement is called the converse, kind of the backwards, of the Pythagorean theorem. So we could say, if a squared plus b squared equals c squared, then a triangle must be a right triangle. So in this case, we can plug it into the equation to see if it's true. So we can say if a equals 8, b equals 9, and c equals 12, is that a right triangle? So first step is to substitute. 8 squared plus 9 squared equals 12 squared. Then do the squares of each. So 64 plus 81 equals 144. Well, that's not true because it equals 145, which is not equal to 144. So we can conclude that this is not a right triangle. So I want you to try one on your own. Determine whether the triangle with the given sides is a right triangle or not. So if side A is 12, B is 9, and C is 15, is it a right triangle? So give that a try, and that's all for today's lesson.